Throughout cinematic history, we've witnessed several comedians successfully transition into directing horror films, proving that their comedic sensibilities can enhance the terror on screen. Like Zach Cregger with Barbarian, John Krasinski with A Quiet Place Part 1, 2, and 3. Never mind. And of course, Jordan Peele with Get Out, Us, and Nope. It's become a common thing for comedians to transition into horror since comedy and horror both rely heavily on timing and tension to evoke strong emotional reactions. The rise of comics directing horror got me wondering which comedian would be perfect to direct horror, and the name that immediately came to my mind is Bo Burnham. Now, I gotta give credit where credit's due. A writer at Fangoria wrote an article with the same idea about why Bo Burnham should direct horror, and I feel like instead of plagiarizing them, I dive deeper into the topic and add more to it. To understand why Bo Burnham is an ideal candidate to direct horror, we must first delve into his movie 8th Grade. While not a horror film in the traditional sense, 8th Grade reveals Burnham's exceptional ability to capture the unsettling aspects of the human experience. The film follows the story of Kayla, a young girl navigating the treacherous waters of middle school. In 8th grade, Burnham masterfully builds tension and unease through the lens of Kayla's anxiety. He taps the universal fears of adolescents, magnifying them to create an atmosphere that resonates with audiences on a profound level. There's a particular scene in the film where he uses this skill to the full extent, and it's the scene where Kayla is in the car with a guy and they play Truth or Dare.
Truth.
No fun.
Sorry. Okay, well, Dare.
Take your shirt off.
I'm not, like, super comfortable with that.
Well, do you think I'm comfortable right now? Calm down, relax. Take a deep breath. Come on. Take your shirt off.
No! Sorry.
This scene is literally one of the most uncomfortable scenes I've ever seen in any movie. And the reason for that is that it's already weird enough that Kayla's in a car alone with a guy much older than her. But what makes it even worse is that after Kayla refused to take her shirt off to do God knows what, instead of him being apologetic or anything like that, he's trying to excuse his actions by saying he was trying to help her. But in reality, he's just pushing his own insecurities onto her by telling her that her first time hooking up with someone is not going to go well because she's not going to be good, and people will make fun of her for it. The sad thing about this is that things like that really do happen in real life more than people are admitting. And what's even worse is that even if nothing happened, it's still something that can haunt you in a way that you can't explain, and people will try to downgrade it because they don't see the severity of it. And that's something that Bo captured in this scene very well. It's this skill in evoking emotional discomfort that makes Bo a prime candidate for horror. Bo's exploration of discomfort and unease reached new heights in his comedy special Inside, which he filmed entirely within a single room during the pandemic. Inside takes on an unexpected and introspective tone, revealing a side of Burnham that goes beyond comedy. The first element that positions Inside as an unexpected horror is its dystopian setting. Because this was filmed entirely in a single room during the pandemic, Burnham immerses viewers in an oppressive atmosphere of isolation, mirroring the psychological horror that many experienced during the global lockdowns. The confined space, dim lighting, and stark contrast between Burnham's performances and the eerie surroundings create a sense of claustrophobia and unease. This setting serves as a metaphorical representation of the horrors of loneliness trapped within one's own mind. Inside not only creates a terrifying external environment, but also delves into the monsters that reside within ourselves. Burnham fearlessly exposes his own vulnerability, anxiety, and struggles with mental health, confronting the demons that haunt him.
Apologies.
His song and performance, That Funny Feeling, showcases this perfectly in my opinion. I'll even go as far as to say that the song is a terrifying glimpse into the anxieties and existential dread that permeate our own modern lives. That Funny Feeling lies in its evocative and pungent lyrics. Burnham skillfully weaves together a series of seemingly unrelated phrases that paint a vivid picture of the anxieties and existential crises many of us face. The lyrics capture the sense of unease that comes from living in an interconnected yet detached society. They touch on themes of loneliness, the fleeting nature of happiness, and the overwhelming onslaught of information. These existential musings strike a chord within us, tapping into our deepest fears and concerns. That funny feeling jumps between the upbeat melody and the underlying darkness of the lyrics. The cheerful tune creates a dark contrast to the unsettling nature of the words, amplifying the sense of cognitive dissonance. This contrast forces the audience to confront the discomfort of finding humor in the face of existential dread. It challenges our perception of what is funny and forces us to acknowledge the underlying darkness that permeates our lives, even in moments of apparent levity. That funny feeling resonated with me and a lot of other people because it reflects a universal experience. The anxieties and uncertainties it explores are shared by many, making it deeply relatable. Inside takes audiences on a journey through surreal and unsettling moments that further contribute to its classification as a horror movie. Burnham's mastery of visuals, lighting, and sound design enhances the unease and creates a sense of creeping dread, once again making him an ideal candidate to direct a horror film. Comedy and horror are two genres that share a surprisingly amount of similarities. Both rely on timing, tension, and the element of surprise to jolt a strong emotional response from the audience. Bo Burnham has mastered the art of blending comedy and discomfort, making him an ideal candidate to direct a horror film that defies expectations. Burnham's unique comedic style, characterized by dark humor and introspection, would seemingly translate into the horror genre. By using his sharp wit and unconventional approach to storytelling, Burnham could subvert horror tropes and challenge audience expectations, creating an experience that is both terrifying and thought-provoking. Bo Burnham, in my opinion, is well suited to direct a horror film that transcends the genre's boundaries. His movie 8th Grade and comedy special Inside showcases his mastery of atmosphere and emotional storytelling, proving that he has the vision and skill to create a truly memorable and chilling cinematic experience. Sadly, Bo hasn't expressed any interest in directing horror anytime soon or at all, but that doesn't mean it's totally out of his comfort zone. After all, one of his favorite films is the French horror film Raw, so it's not totally out of the question for him to direct horror eventually. So let us eagerly await the day when Bo Burnham steps into the director's chair for a horror film ready to thrill and unsettle audiences like never before. Please consider subscribing, and thanks for watching.